I am happy to see you here. That means that you found me again. Hello, hello, hello. So today we are talking about those people who have said, oh, this is my year, right? Because last year wasn't. But the year before that, they said, oh, this will be my year, right? Well, I want to challenge that. What are you doing differently this year that makes it so much your year, but last year wasn't? But it was supposed to be. It was supposed to be, right? So I want to know what in the world you're doing differently to make this your year. You say it, but what are you doing to make it happen, right? So that's the question. So one of the things that I wrote down that makes me think about, some friends of mine, and I've been here too. I always have ideas, but they're rarely brought to fruition. Okay. And that's why so many people say, oh, it's my year. It's going to be my year, because they've got these ideas, but what are they doing to truly make those ideas work for them? And that's what we're not doing, is that we're not sitting down. We're just giving lip service to this thing. We're not really sitting down and mapping it out. Okay. So I want to know what makes this year so different from last year. Okay. So if you are saying that this is your year, why is this your year? What are you doing to make it your year? How are you changing things this year from last year? What methodology are you putting in place in order to make this thing happen? These are the questions that I want to know. Okay. And then once you have figured out all of those different, the who, what, when, let me see. I have, what plans have you put in place to change? Yes, I'm ahead of myself, y'all. What plans have you put in place to change your outcome? So when I talk about these plans, I'm gonna slow down a little bit and back up a little bit. Often I'm talking about your goals. And what happens with these goals is they are not clearly defined. And because they are not clearly defined, you're finding yourself at the end of the year in the same place that you were at the start of the year. So one of the goals for me with you is to have you clearly define those goals, so that at the end of the year, you can say, man, I crushed this year. This was it. Whoa, I told y'all. And then you can go forward and always have success, because once you know the building blocks of creating the goals and tracking those goals, you're always able to move ahead and do better and better and better, if that makes any sense. Okay. The question also I want to know is, do you have the support to help you when you get stuck? Now, often when we start something new, we are extremely enthusiastic about it. We're very passionate about it. We are telling everybody, and the people that we expect to support us are not the people who are going to support us. It's great that your mama showed up to read your blog. That cousin Johnny stopped over on and heard your podcast, or you, whatever that case may be. So and so said you put your big foot off in that pot of stew because you started cooking more this year, whatever that may be. That's great. But after a while, the people that are closest to you, they lose that. They don't really have that enthusiasm and that passion for it like you do. You have to find like-minded people who feel the same way about the same thing as you do. So sometimes that includes, that means going out to meetup groups, or joining different organizations, or getting online and finding groups online, that kind of thing. Those people who have that thing in common with you, when you run into a roadblock, they've also run into a similar roadblock, and they're able to help you. So that's what you've got to look for when you're talking about getting support when you get stuck. Okay. And now, have you broken your map down into small terms? So again, that's basically referring to your goals. So when you're writing your goals, you should have all of your W's and your H answered, your who, what, when, where, why, and your how answered. When you hop into your car and you decide that you're going to drive to another state, you don't just hop in your car without any plans and just start driving. You have a map, you have a turn by turn, and that is the way you need to look at your goals. You need to break those goals all the way down to turn by turn, so that well, this one says to turn right at the corner of 5th and Main. When you get to 5th and Main and you make that right, you can check that off. It's done. It was measurable, it was obtainable, it was, reasonable, and it was something that you could do in a specific amount of time. So those are the things that you're going to break down: your who, what, when, where, why, and your how. Okay? So let's see. I want you to review why you want what you want, and answer the question, are you chasing the latest shiny object? Because often we will hop online and somebody will say, Oh, make money by doing, traveling, make money cooking, make money, make money, make money. And we follow that and we follow this. Or I'll tell you what I get bombarded with when people see the following that I have. I get a lot of people in my inboxes with MLMs. Oh, because you've got a healthy lifestyle. Oh, because you're battling lupus. Oh, because changed countries. Oh, because you will be great at this, great at this, great at this, great at this. You can make a lot of money. You can make a lot of money. Don't buy into that. Be sure about your message. Be sure about what direction you are supposed to be going, and don't follow the latest shiny object, because again, you'll be all over the place. You'll be driving, you'll be trying to get to Ohio and end up in Pennsylvania. It just is not a good thing. You'll be all over the place. Okay. The other thing is I want you to ask yourself, do you think that this is going to be easy, or do you think it's going to be hard work? Now, I'm going to tell you this is a trick question. I'm gonna let you know up front, this is a trick question. Anything worth having is worth working for. If it was easy, everybody would be doing it. So you're going to have to be prepared for problems. You're going to have to be persistent. You're going to have the drive. If it is something that you truly believe in and you want this year to be your year, you've got to stick to it. And it is not going to be easy. I just want you to know that ahead of time. Easy, like fear, is a dirty little 4-letter word. It's dirty. Don't believe it. It's bad. Get away from it. Okay. Then I want to know, how much time are you willing to dedicate to this thing? Because again, you've got to be persistent, and you got to know that when the going gets tough, we're going to get all cliched over here, that the tough get going. So we want you to be persistent. If it is something that you truly believe in, then you will, and you will dedicate some time to it. I listened to a podcaster, a friend of mine, Nick Loper, and I love his intro. It says, your 9 to 5 will make you a living, but your 5 to 9 will make you alive. So follow that format, that if it's something that you're truly passionate about, you're going to dedicate time to it. You can come home from work dragging your butt, but if it's something that you're truly passionate about, you're going to put in the hard work and you are going to dedicate that time to it. Okay? And let's see. The next thing is the time that you are dedicating to it. Is it busy work, or is it work that is truly going to take you to success? So one of the issues that I have is delegating. When you realize that it is not really getting you towards your goal, you need to delegate that thing out, unless it's something that brings you joy. But if it is not getting you to your end result, you need to delegate it. So those are my tips. I thank you guys for being here. If you are not following me on the various other forms of social media that I am on, Periscope, Snapchat, Instagram, all those, Facebook, I will share in the notes where you can find me, how you can find me, and I'm glad that you found me this time. I hope that you will be back here soon. I'll talk to you in a bit. Ciao.